What's up, Poke Digigang? I took a break from fighting COVID and playing Pokemon Legends Arceus, or as the internet calls it, PLA, to work on this week's video. Like you might have guessed from the title of this video, I decided to put out a second impressions video because I'm not gonna lie, I have been pleasantly surprised by this game. I haven't beat the game yet, but I think I've done a lot. After I finished recording last week's video, I turned on the recorder and got like 2 hours worth of gameplay because I felt like I just had to show you more of the game. I barely got to the tip of the iceberg last week. I didn't even get my starter yet. So I'm hoping this week's video can show you just a little more of the story. Obviously I won't show you all 2 hours, but I want to share my thoughts on the game so far, like in between the parts where I progress the storyline. I do a ton of exploring, so there's a lot of time for that. What lovely weather we've got. I hope you had a nice sleep, even if this land is strange and new to you. Let's go to headquarters. Captain Silene is waiting. The Survey Corps offices are here on the first floor. Passel, don't give up. Keep those eyes open. Yojiro, the wild Pokemon, they were everywhere, attacking from all sides. I sent out my partner Pokemon, but against the whole pack, outnumbered. This is what happens when you go so far afield, but the Medical Corps will put you to rights. That man's with the Security Corps, and even with his own partner, he took a beating from wild Pokemon. Without a partner Pokemon of your own, you might find this trial particularly trying. Captain Silene, my guru's here. You may enter. Let us get straight to it. If you wish to join the Galaxy Expedition Team, prove yourself capable by going out into the Obsidian Fieldlands and catching 3 different species of Pokemon, Bidoof, Starly, and Shinx. Catching 3 Pokemon from the start? No one in the Galaxy Team has ever managed that. Did the stranger not catch 3 different Pokemon only yesterday? My trial should be simple enough for him, if the professor wasn't exaggerating things, that is. The Galaxy Team does not have the means to provide for those who only take without giving. If you wish to stay, you must prove beyond any doubt that you'll be an asset to our cause. I will lend you one of our Survey Corps satchels to carry whatever you may need in the field. Thanks. That satchel doesn't exactly match your mode of dress. Akari. I'll expect you to step in if anything goes awry. Pardon, my guru. Come with me a moment, Laventon. Now then, jolly good morning to everyone. Is something the matter, Professor Laventon? In order to complete our Pokedex and, well, simply survive in this unforgiving land, my guru absolutely must pass this trial, and as a professor of Pokemon, I've got just the ticket to help accomplish that. Go on, my guru, pick the Pokemon that strikes your fancy. With a partner of your own, you'll be able to fight off wild Pokemon outside the village. These little darlings are very dear to me, but it's plain to see they're rather curious about you. Well, my boy, which Pokemon would you like to keep as your own? They're all so lovely. Do you want Rowlet as your first partner? And with that, one of the Pokemon you caught at Prelude Beach for me will now be yours to keep. Good show! I've tucked Rowlet back inside its Pokeball for you, so take it, it's yours. A word of advice, my boy, pay close attention to which Pokeballs are empty and which ones contain a Pokemon out in the field. They look as if they're cheering on their friend Rowlet. Or perhaps they're jealous that it gets to help you with your trial. That could well be. They did go dashing from the village when Miguru fell out of the sky after all. Well, not to worry, you two. I'll have you assist me with my research for now. By the by, what species has Captain Silene charged you with catching? Well, that's smashing. All three of those species can be found in the Obsidian Fieldlands. Let me give you some Pokeballs to use during your trial then. These Pokeballs may be handcrafted, but they work a treat, as you've already seen. You'll have this trial cleared in no time. I guess you're finally ready. You'll have to leave the village for your trial. Turn left as you exit headquarters, then head for the gate. Up on the 3rd floor is the office of the Galaxy Team Commander's Kamado. You're not going up there until we know a little more about you, mystery kid. You'll have this trial cleared in no time. Basel, it's safe here in Jubilife Village. Don't forget, you can always return here to rest and recover. Anise, we're running low on potions. Guess I'll need to go and gather more materials. Tao Hua, we're in the middle of nowhere out here. We have to make what we need ourselves. Astaire, it may be a small thing, but it sure feels great to be able to make what's needed for the team. Taki, hey where'd you come from? Your clothes look kinda weird. Oh, what a curious getup you have there. I can already tell you're quite the character. I'm Volo of the Ginkgo Guild, the go-to choice for any of your mercantile needs here in Isui. I've heard talk about you. Fell from the sky, didn't you? Now that's certainly a tale I'd like to hear. Oh, and you've a Pokemon. You're certainly full of interesting surprises. Investigating the odd and novel is key to any good merchant's success. So what do you say? How about you and I see how our Pokemon stand up to one another in a battle? Sounds good. I like you better and better. What a delightful find. I've also heard about this trial you're to attempt. Let's have a quick battle to get your blood pumping before you head out. Though I hope you know you'll lose if your Pokemon's HP reaches 0. Moves, items, use them well and the world will open up to you. It's always good fun to have your Pokemon do battle, don't you think? And as they gain experience through battle, they'll learn more moves and grow even stronger. But so few people here have their own Pokemon. If only more knew how to use Pokeballs. At any rate, let me help our two battlers recover from their little exercise. And to you, my Skyfallen friend, I present some potions and thanks. You can use them on your Pokemon whenever they might be worn out from battle. I'll be hoping that you're successful on that trial of yours. More Galaxy team members means more customers for yours truly after all. That's really something. Not only can you catch Pokemon, you can lead them in battle. Now to the Obsidian Fieldlands. When you're leaving Jubilife Village, make sure you choose a destination from your map, and tell Rest the guardsman where you're going. That way someone can come to your aid if you're knocked out by a Pokemon. Your trial begins just a short way past that front gate. You're my guru, correct? I was informed you'd be passing through. Your trial will take place outside the safety of the village. Please take care to come back alive. This is our base camp, the last safe haven before you reach the wilds. For your trial, you must catch 3 species of Pokemon, Bidoof, Starly, and Shinx. Are you ready to get started? Oh, Professor, is something wrong? Well, you see, Captain Silene got a hold of me after you left. She impressed upon me that I bear full responsibility for whatever happens to our sudden guest. That's our unsparing captain. But what help exactly can you offer out here, Professor? To be honest, my dear girl, I don't intend to lift a finger. My guru's talents are the real deal. He'll pass with flying colors, you'll see. So the responsibility for him lies in fact with me, then. Well, I'm sure my guru will be fine. Let's start the trial. If Pokemon start launching attacks at you, run to safety as quickly as you can, alright, my boy? On your entry, child, are you? Stay alive, and good luck passing, too. This is Aspiration Hill. The species of Pokemon you're meant to catch all live here. And along comes a Bidoof. Time to get ready to catch it. The key is to aim carefully. Now that you seem to need my advice, I'm just sharing what I know. Bidoof has a mellow disposition, so that means it tends not to run from people, so this will be easy. You caught a Bidoof, well done. Time to find your next Pokemon. There's a Starly. They're skittish little things. They'll run if startled. But you should be able to get close to them if you crouch. You'll be harder to spot. That Starly's caught as well. Only one more Pokemon to go. I forgot, there's something I ought to teach you since you're still new to this. Here's the proper way to throw your partner's Pokeball. As Captain Silene tells us, have an item at the ready but want to send out a Pokemon? Press X. Have a Pokemon at the ready but want to throw an item? Press X. The Captain's a real expert on these things. Try throwing your Pokemon's ball at rocks or trees like this one to have it investigate. If your Pokemon finds any berries or other items, it'll bring them to you. Now it's time for your partner's time to shine. We've reached your final hurdle, catching a Shinx. There, that's Shinx. Shinx has an aggressive disposition. Could you already tell that? More or less. I thought you might. I can never tell until I focus on a Pokemon carefully. Once aggressive Pokemon get a rate, they'll knock aside any ball you throw at them. Don't worry though, I'll teach you the trick to catching aggressive Pokemon. You've got to battle with them. Once they're absorbed with battling, you can throw a Pokeball at them to try to catch them. By now you've got several Pokemon of your own, don't you? Take one of their Pokeballs and throw it near a wild Pokemon you want to battle. I've got no doubt you'll hold your own in battle. You approached those Pokemon without a hint of fear and caught each one. You're like a gift the sky dropped to us. With you at our side, I think the Survey Corps has a real chance of compiling a complete Pokedex as we've been ordered. This is wonderful. I'm still curious why on earth you came falling from the sky like you did, but for now let's tell the professor we're ready to head back. Oh, I said you'd pass the trial with flying colors, and it seems you went and did just that. Congratulations, Mikey. You've taken your first step towards seeking out every Pokemon. This calls for a commemorative photograph. With skills like yours, I suppose this was a foregone conclusion. Now then, we'd best report to Captain Silene. Time to head back to Jubilife Village, eh? In time, you'll be able to send Pokemon you've caught to live in the village pastures. You can bring up to 6 Pokemon with you into the field in theory, though we've never had anyone skilled enough to do so. Come now, you two, let's not dilly-dally. Captain Silene awaits our report at headquarters. I bet Captain Silene will be very pleased. It seems we won't have to leave you to die after all. Congratulations, you've passed your trial. You can hold on to that satchel. I must admit you've impressed me. I set a high hurdle to judge whether a stranger like yourself could be worthy, but you cleared it. This is yours, the official uniform of the Survey Corps. You received a Survey Corps uniform and a pair of Survey Corps sandals. Get changed in the room you used last night, then you're to report at once to the 3rd floor. Present yourself in uniform to our commander. This is your first official order from your captain. Look how well our Survey Corps uniform suits you. It's almost as if the captain had it tailored just for you. I see you've changed. Regarding your accommodations, you may continue to use the room you slept in last night. You may wear this as well. Now present yourself to the commander. I have been waiting for you. I am Kamado, commander of the Galaxy Expedition Team. So you are my guru. It's an honor. You know your manners at least. I've been briefed on your situation, including how you fell from the rift in the sky. Now then, let's see what you're made of. Face me in combat. Charge at him. Here! You've got vigor, I'll give you that. You need to work on your sumo technique, but I do see some potential. Don't expect a warm welcome from everyone. Naturally, some will be slow to trust an outsider, who literally fell right out of the blue. The superstitious among us might see your arrival as a portent of disaster, but you passed the trial that was put to you. No matter how odd you may seem, you're part of Jubilife Village now. Dedicate yourself to the work of the Galaxy Expedition Team, and complete the Pokedex. But I warn you, my guru, Pokemon are terrifying creatures. Keep your wits about you as you work. So the commander has also accepted you. But understand this, you begin as a no-star recruit among our ranks. In other words, you have no rank at all. Perform well as a member of the Survey Corps and you will move up through the ranks. Indeed, you see, the more you add to the Pokedex, the higher your rank will become. And working on the Pokedex will also, of course, bring you closer toward that goal of yours, to seek out every last Pokemon. Here, you will need this. And 3,000 Pokecoins as well. You will have to buy the necessary materials. Akari, you are an expert at crafting yourself. Teach our new recruit what he needs to know. Of course, Captain Silene. Now, as the experienced craft person here, let me explain a bit to start with. Crafting means making items with your own 2 hands. You can buy some items at the general store, but self-sufficiency is worth striving for. You can even make our most valuable tools, Pokeballs. Think where we'd be if we couldn't do that. Let's head to the Craftworks. Well done earning a place in our team, Anth. My name is Anth. I'm the local clothier. Clothier? The professor asked that I ready you a change of clothes, so here you go. I hope they do fit. You received everyday kimono and a pair of everyday trousers. I hope you'll avail yourself to the village's humble shops. This way to the craftworks, my guru. You can use the workbench here at the craftworks anytime you need to make an item in the village. And I'll supply what you need to make your first Pokeballs once you're ready to begin. Call it my way of saying congratulations for joining us. Just spend the money you got from the captain on clothes, or whatever you think is best. Go up to the workbench and choose an item to craft, in this case, a Pokeball. Oh ho, now that's some fine craftsmanship. Hard to believe this was your first time stepping up to the workbench, my boy. You'll recall, of course, that Pokemon possess the odd power to shrink themselves down. With the Pokeballs we craft, we can make use of that power to catch them. Also that more Pokemon species can be duly recorded in a Pokedex. And on that note, here you are. You received a Pokedex. I prepared this volume just for you. I hope it aids you well in your aim to seek out all the Pokemon there are in this grand region. You'll have to complete lots of research tasks to help Professor fill out the Pokedex. The same goes for me, of course. I've also got Pokemon to research as a Survey Corps member. I'd be all too happy to explain more about the research tasks I could use your assistance with. Come join me at the Fieldlands camp whenever you are ready, my good Miguru. So like I mentioned earlier, I did get the dreaded vid, but I am over the worst of it, I think. I listened back to that video and I can't believe how sick I sounded. Anyway, back to Pla. I think walking into it blind was so good for me because I found myself legitimately getting excited about exploring new places and running into new Pokemon and catching them and completing their Dex entry. Of course there were things I could have avoided, time that could have not been wasted, but I think it was worth it for the experience. Edigaru and Eileen and I always joke about this certain YouTuber I mentioned in the last video. I feel like I should explain and give a little context, though I won't say who it is. This guy has videos up way before every Switch game releases and has a ton of tips like how to get all the shinies or where to find infinite rare candies or whatever. Some of the content is actually what the title promises, but sometimes it's just clickbait or a distortion of what the title promises, and like one of his fans just gifts him the shiny or something. We get he needs to work the algorithm, so we don't knock him for that, but he just kind of comes off as kind of arrogant when he talks about these tips in his videos. Specifically, we always reference a video about a Mario game that came out, I think last year, where he was talking about how to beat a level, and he sounded almost bored talking about how easy it was. Me and Edigaru and Eileen are like, yeah dude, it's a kid's game. Nobody's playing it to be challenged. Yeah, so that's why I said that in the last video. But it's just such a contrast between like hearing Video Game Donkey, for example, talk about Mario Odyssey and his passion for the game and the love for the character. You can hear it in his voice, and there's like a respect there too. All that to say, I avoided videos like his because I didn't want to ruin my experience with this game and make it all about efficiency and spoil surprises that I might find along the way. I wanted to play this the way I feel the developers intended. And that's not to say I didn't try to find the most efficient way to do things in the game. I think that's in our nature, but it's not like I went in there with knowledge beforehand about something that I had not even played yet. Okay, so why am I pleasantly surprised? Eileen and I were talking about it earlier today, and we agree this game just breaks itself free from the formula main series Pokemon games have been following up to this point. I know Sword and Shield sold a lot of copies, like 22 million or something, and the music was really well done, but I remember feeling so disappointed that this was the first Pokemon main series game to debut on the Switch. There was no national dex, really poor animations, no voice acting. The wild area was a cool concept, but so much more could have been done with it. Pla just seems to be a combination of really great ideas rolled into one game, with the developers taking risks, which is so great to see. They break from the formula in so many different ways, and just to name a few, this game is released on its own without a parallel title with a slightly different Pokemon and a different box legendary. Also, your starters are from different regions. Also, there are no gyms or badges. Although there's a general progression and direction to the story, I wouldn't say it's all that linear, since you can basically go wherever you want at any time and focus on whatever tasks you want. There's a crafting system for items too. Pokemon Legends Arceus seems to borrow ideas from some great games. I see influence from Breath of the Wild in the way the music adapts to what you're doing. When you approach an alpha Pokemon, for example, which is a wild Pokemon that's typically a bigger and stronger variant of that species with like red eyes, the background music stops and changes into this tense, cautious music. Like the game knows I'm crouched in the grass looking through my items, trying to think of a plan of action. I know, I'll use this potion to help me sneak around more quietly, and then I'll throw a smoke bomb to give more cover and allow me to get closer to it. Then I'll toss a berry past it so that it turns around and its back is facing me, and then I'll equip the best Pokeball I have and walk up to it and throw it at it, and then I'll immediately dodge roll back into the smoke cloud just in case it pops out so I can get another chance without having to fight it. Imagine all that going through your head while this subtle but heavy music plays, further emphasizing the weight of the situation. It really adds so much. I also see Breath of the Wild influence in the way that you can explore and get around the map. Without giving away too many spoilers, the ride Pokemon you unlock make traveling so much fun. The only other game that made going from point A to point B this enjoyable for me was Marvel's Spider-Man. The way you can maneuver with the ride Pokemon feels so freeing and the controls are really tight. Maybe you won't agree with this, but I kind of see some influence from Monster Hunter in the way you have to leave your hometown and go to a sectioned off region. You always have to return to the home base before you can go to another region. And when you go out into a region, it's almost like a play session where you can turn into the professor your progress of how many new Pokemon you've caught and the additional data you gathered for each Pokedex entry. Yeah, catching just one of each Pokemon isn't always enough to complete the Dex entry. You need to complete enough tasks to get rank 10 for a Pokemon in order for its entry to count as complete. Some of the tasks are to catch more of the Pokemon, other tasks are to feed them berries or to defeat it with a certain move, or to see it use a certain move. It can be tough for Pokemon that are really rare, but it's really satisfying to complete an entry, and it's sort of a nice mechanic that makes the gameplay longer without being too annoying. There are definitely influences from traditional RPGs too. I mentioned the crafting system earlier. Collecting resources is necessary in order to have what you need to craft potions, Pokeballs, and recipes, but then of course that leads to item management, which you'll spend some time on, and probably lots of money increasing your storage space. The last things I have to mention are the attention to detail and the quality of life things that exist in this world. There's so many subtle things here. Like for example, when you bring your Pokemon out of its Pokeball and it stands next to you, the way it looks at you and interacts with you depends on how much it likes you. I noticed a Pokemon I just caught and added to my team tended to try to strike me, while my starter, who has been with me from the start, just does its cry and playfully looks at me. And you can also bring out not just one of your Pokemon at a time, but you can have all 6 of them just standing around you, and just it feels kind of cool just looking at all 6 of your Pokemon just out, like your little posse, just standing there. I really get the sense that this game was tested a lot, and that the feedback which the developers got from testers was really taken into account. Gamers try to find the most efficient way to do things, unless they watch a guy on YouTube that tells them what the best way is. Anyway, I mentioned that because you might have seen that to collect resources, you have to throw your Pokemon at the tree or rock, and they'll gather the resource for you. Well, what if you have 2 trees or rocks next to each other? Well, your Pokemon only hits one of them and then comes back to you in its Pokeball. Well, what if you cycle to the next Pokemon while your first Pokemon is already out, and then you throw the second Pokemon out at the second tree or rock? Yep, that works. And you can even immediately get back on your mount and continue traveling without even looking back, and they'll collect the resources. You don't have to stop and watch one Pokemon do an animation that will get really old really fast before you can act again and do something. It's really great, and it's little things like that which really make the gameplay fluid for me. Also, at your home base, you can fast travel to different parts of the town. The home base isn't even that big, but it saves you several seconds of having to walk to spots you walk to often, like the farm, where they grow berries and other plants for a price. Again, the amount of good creative ideas implemented here are just incredible. I can't wait to keep playing this until I beat the story and see what else there is to do. I don't know if I'll complete the decks, that just sounds kinda tedious, but for now, I'm enjoying it a lot, and I hope that everyone else is too. Maybe this will send a positive message to Game Freak not to be afraid to try new things. I think fans have really grown tired of the same formula and feeling underwhelmed by the lack of content or creativity. Like, really? You couldn't have the national decks in Sword and Shield because you wanted to focus on the Pokemon that were included? And then the box legendaries and all the cutscenes just have their models do the same 2 animations and get rotated 180 degrees before they walk away? Anyway, I don't know what I'll upload next week, but I hope you enjoyed me talking at you. Alright, bye!